Most of the time, equations are easy. If you know what the symbols mean and understand the concept behind them, once you get used to it, solving them is straightforward. But word problems are a bit different. These questions take concepts and apply them in realistic situations, and sometimes they are really hard to solve. The numbers seem to be lost in words, and an easy math concept may seem unsolvable. So in this video, I'll show you how to turn any word problem into an equation in a few simple steps. But before we get into the video, subscribe! These videos take a lot of time to make, and if you enjoy these, you can support the channel by subscribing if you haven't already. Alright, let's get right into it. Here we have a sample word problem. The first step when solving a word problem is to identify the unknown. Find what we're solving for. Once we've found this, we can mark it with a variable such as x, n, or stampy. Okay, maybe something else. In this example, we're looking for the distance that this person is from his house. So let's represent this distance with the variable d. Now keep in mind that word problems are usually real life scenarios. Thus your answer may need units like feet, dollars, or a rate. So always check if the question asks for units. In our example, we're looking for the distance in feet. So let's also include that. Okay, we've identified the unknown we're solving for and its units. Once we've got that, take note of any numbers or keywords that likely indicate some sort of operation. Once we have this, we can try building an equation involving our unknown variable, which we can then solve. This step can be tricky, so if you can't, sketch it. A diagram doesn't need to be a masterpiece. The problem we have is perfect for sketching since we have an intersection. From our keywords, we know the person is 12 feet north of the intersection, so let's place him here. And his house is 5 feet east of the intersection. So we're looking for this distance, which we labeled as d. Now we see a triangle, and if you know the Pythagorean theorem, we can just apply that here. Thus we know that the person is 13 feet away from his house, which is our answer. Now the example we started off with was one we could draw, but some word problems can't be sketched easily. With these problems, we can still use the same exact steps. Here's another example. This example is pretty dense. We know that we're looking for the age of Dino 1 after 10 years. So let's mark this unknown as D1, Dino 1's current age, plus 10. This is what we're looking for, and of course our units are in years. Now let's keep track of our numbers, and words indicating operations. Older than tells us to add, and twice is multiplying by 2. Okay, now let's piece it together. Dino 2 is 5 years old. Dino 1's age is 4 plus 2 times Dino 2's age. Now we can solve. If we substitute in Dino 2's age, we find that Dino 1 is currently 14 years old. But we're not done here. We're looking for his age in 10 years. So 14 plus 10 is 24. Thus, Dino 1 is going to be 24 in 10 years. This problem started off as a bunch of words, but we turned these into numbers, wrote an equation, and solved the problem. Awesome work. At the end of the day, the trick to solving word problems boils down to breaking down the problem. We need to identify the unknown we're solving for, translate the words into operations, and then just use what we know and solve the equations. Word problems can seem tricky, but once you break them down, they're totally solvable. Just slow down, look for the question, spot the keywords, and turn words into math. You've got this. So that's how you can turn any word problem into an equation. Hopefully you learned something or found something useful, and if you did, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. And spread the word so more people can find these videos. And that's all for now. As always, keep working hard and keep learning. Thank you for watching.